Footwear by Mark Echo.
Is ticking and time's running out. To save big time at the Yamaha Get Out and Ride sales event with huge savings on select Yamaha ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. See your Yamaha dealer before time runs out for good. Now get payments as low as $69 a month till 2.
There's new land. There's a new Land Rover. The all-new Land Rover LR2.
The road to happiness. Lots of twists and turns.
3.
Have you found yourself yet? Because you're right here. Seriously, happiness doesn't have to hurt like that.
Security?
Put your money in an orange savings account. It's all gain, no pain.
But pain is the path to joy.
Whatever. High interest, no fees, no minimums. Your money grows, you don't get bent out of shape. The road to happiness is a beautiful thing.
Welcome back to the FSN Baseball Report, presented by Honda Motorcycles.
Time now for covering the bases. After my road trip with the Giants last week in Denver, here's what we know. It's good being Barry Bonds. He's only a handful of homers away from breaking the all-time record, and he's making $15.5 million this season. Well, and apparently it's going to be good for the lucky person who catches historic number 756. A Dallas auction house has offered a $1 million bounty on the ball. That was million, by the way. Hopefully the person who catches it won't need it for medical care. Because, come on, have you ever seen the fights those people get into? It's kind of crazy. What is it about baseball and weird rituals? Did you see last week that nearly the entire Mets team shaved their heads? It started when their slumping third baseman David Wright decided to go bald, trying to change his luck. Carlos the Barber Beltran did the honors in hopes of team bonding. Either that or a Gillette commercial, I don't know. And it seems to be working, at least for the moment, as the Mets won 5 of their next 6 games, and Wright got 10 hits in those games. If they slump again, I wonder if they're going to shave their legs. I know, not a pretty picture. And finally, let me just first say, pink is not my favorite color. Obviously, I always wear black. But last weekend, it was baseball's. Mother's Day became Breast Cancer Awareness Day around the majors, and more than 200 players used pink bats, wore pink wristbands and ribbons to raise money and help bring awareness to breast cancer. More than 40,000 women will die from the disease this year, and baseball is doing its part. Last year, MLB raised $350,000 by going pink, and this year the goal was $1 million. So favorite color or not, it's all for a good cause.
Time to bring the heat. Let's bring in Ken Rosenthal and Mark Gubicza. Mark, we talked at the top of the show about interleague play. You played in interleague games. Did you like it?
Yeah, Tom, initially, I loved it. I love the fact that you go to National League ballparks and you get to face other pitchers. Hey, I would much rather face myself than Frank Thomas. I would have a better chance of getting people out. But I think May had lost a little bit of its luster of late, but still, I think it's a good thing for the fans and for the players to be involved in it.
You're being hard on yourself. Ken, the A's picked up Jack Cuss from the Padres a couple weeks ago, and suddenly this journeyman outfielder who had 5 Major League homers in 6 years hit 5 in 4 games with Oakland. How amazing is this?
Not that amazing, Tom, when you consider his minor league track record. He always could walk, he always could hit, and hit for power. What is amazing, of course, is how quickly he has translated that into his success with the A's. 7 home runs in his first 10 games. That's more than Manny Ramirez had, more than Albert Pujols had, more than Ryan Howard had. That is amazing. And what's also amazing is that no other American League team showed interest in Cuss before this. Hey, he is not a National League player. We know that. He has defensive limitations. But where were the Angels? Where were the Devil Rays? Other teams in need of a bat? The A's got their man.
He's like a real-life Crash Davis. Mark, the Giants have found a gem of their own in rookie starting pitcher Tim Lincecum. Is he the real deal?
No question about it, Tom. And yeah, it's always difficult to jump on the guy's bandwagon. He's only had a couple starts at the major league level. But he's a first-round draft pick. He's a Golden Spikes winner. He's not a big guy. Kind of reminds you a little bit of Roy Oswalt or Pedro Martinez, but he brings some gas. Upper 90s, as a matter of fact, and a great breaking ball, good changeup, tremendous presence on the mound. He's going to be a big-time winner. There's no doubt in my mind.
All right, Ken, you're always in the know. Give me the names of some guys with hot bats that are on the trading block.
Tom, I don't think you're going to see a hitter the quality of Carlos Lee come available this trading season. He was a potential free agent. The Brewers wanted to move him. But the Devil Rays are going to be extremely open-minded on their young outfielders, Carl Crawford, Rocco Baldelli, Delman Young. You also will see some big names with big contracts and no trade clauses get bandied about. I'm thinking about Todd Helton of the Rockies and, of course, Ken Griffey Jr. of the Reds. The one guy I don't think you will see moved, at least he shouldn't be moved, is the Marlins' Miguel Cabrera. True, the Marlins did not get their stadium bill approved yet again, but if they trade Cabrera, they might as well fold up the franchise.
Yeah, and you mentioned Helton. He almost got traded in the offseason to Boston. Speaking of trades, it's my understanding the Angels are shopping for help. Mark, what type of player are they looking for?
Well, Tom, they need somebody to bat behind Vladimir Guerrero, a veteran player, because right now Vlad's on pace now to have all-time highs in walks and intentional bases on balls. Their pitching staff is extremely healthy right now, particularly their starters. Bartolo Colon's healthy, Jared Weaver, Kelvin Escobar. So there is a surplus of starting pitching. They need to be able to package a deal together with one of those starters and maybe a bullpen guy to bring that bat if they get to that next level, because they will make the playoffs. But if they can go beyond that first round, it's going to be a big if unless they get a bat.
The problem with the Angels is that their general manager, Bill Stoneman, routinely sets very high prices on his player. Now, they almost had a deal last year for Miguel Tejada. It was nixed by the Orioles owner, Peter Angelos. But Mark is absolutely right. They clearly need to get a bat, maybe a Carl Crawford from the Devil Rays, maybe a Garrett Atkins to play third base. He's with the Rockies. The question is, will Stoneman trade some of those young players that he has, that he's been stockpiling all these years? It's time.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. All right, thank you, guys. We'll see you next week.
Coming up on the FSN Baseball Report, Slammin' Sammy is at it again. Find out how he broke his own record at the happiest place on earth. Plus, when it comes to baseball attire, she's the boss. We'll introduce you to Alyssa Milano's clothing line for female fans. And you're going to glove the plays of the week. Up next on the FSN Baseball Report.
Hey, think I got here by sitting on my butt all day playing video games? Come on, get out there on a Honda. Who knows? Maybe one day some kid will be playing you.
The Honda CRF F-Series. Unplug your kids. As low as $39 a month upon approved credit, and up to $200 in bonus bucks on select models.
Welcome to Davis. Can I help you, sir?
I'll take this one.
Davis gives you free music downloads on iTunes, so you can rock every time you roll.
Feeling real good about lunch today. This new KFC biscuit bowl's got all my favorites. It's got chicken.
I got a burger.
Mashed potatoes.
Fries.
Got corn and gravy, cheese, and now it comes with a biscuit.
Well, I got a bun. It's kind of like a biscuit.
It's not even a little bit.
Biscuit-esque.
No, it's not.
Introducing the new Chicken and Biscuit Bowl from KFC. Layers of mashed potatoes, sweet corn, all white meat chicken, new home-style white gravy, and a 3-cheese blend. And now it comes with a buttermilk biscuit. Dig into great layers of flavor with new KFC Famous Bowls.
Efficiency. The power to change the game. That's how professionals dominate on the court and on the road. There's nothing like a game-winning 3.
Now get a low-mileage lease on an 07 Acadia SLE for around $349 a month. Call for residency restrictions and details.
For more information, visit gmcdrive.com today.
Grab the beer that starts out cold and ends up refreshing. Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Welcome back to wet Wrigley Field. This field took on a lot of rain in a very short period of time in the 8th inning. And eventually in the top of the 9th, the crew chief Joe West decided to take the players off the field. We are told that it's not going to rain very long today. But again, it may take a little while for the grounds crew to get the infield ready to go again. It's 10-6, White Sox leading the Cubs. Top of the 9th inning, 1 out, Jermaine Dye at the plate. We hope to have baseball again very soon.
Welcome back to the FSN Baseball Report, presented by Honda Motorcycles.
Time for, in case you missed it, Sunday in Denver, the Giants' Fred Lewis hit for the cycle in just his 4th Major League start. That feat, combined with the unassisted triple play the Rockies turned at home last month, makes Coors Field just the 3rd stadium in history to see both happen in the same season. A's teammates have to stay alert when Eric Chavez is at the plate. Tuesday night, he almost drilled first base coach Ty Waller. Later in the at-bat, he does hit teammate Shannon Stewart, who was leading off 3rd. With teammates like that, who needs enemies? Wednesday, the Rangers playing Tampa at Disney World, and it proved to be the happiest place on earth for the Rangers' Sammy Sosa, who hit career homer 597 and extended his Major League record by homering in his 45th different park.
Now, I know this isn't the Style Network, but there is a new fashion in baseball. I'm not talking about uniforms, but rather something the fans can wear. You'll never guess who's behind the design. For more, here's FoxSports.com's Dennis Ackerman.
You're used to seeing her on a flat screen in your living room, but Alyssa Milano's latest venture can be seen at a ballpark near you.
You know, the whole concept was an idea that was born out of necessity.
A concept shared by many female fans all over the majors, not just A-list actresses who attend Dodger games.
I've had season tickets for 4 years, and it just got to the point where I couldn't find anything fashionable to wear. I was actually bringing changes of clothes to change into for after the game to go out to dinner.
So Milano took matters into her own hands and created a new clothing collection called Touch.
It was basically stuff that I had in my closet that I sort of altered, you know, fabrics, the silhouettes, because it was really important to me that the line fit a woman's body and that we took a woman's curves into consideration. To first convince Major League Baseball that there was a market for it was a little tedious, but, you know, I saw how passionate I was about it and that it wasn't just about slapping my name on something.
Milano's Touch fashion line has been 2 years in the making. Features every Major League team, as well as modern, chic styles. In other words, nothing like the traditional girly gear.
First of all, pink. I'm so anti-pink. Can't even tell you. It's so insulting to me. I'm like, okay, so they think just because it's pink, we're going to buy it and love it?
How's it doing in other cities? Do you have any idea?
Unbelievable in St. Louis. Unbelievable in Anaheim. Unbelievable in Toronto, Detroit. The thing about women is we love to shop, so we're trying to keep the merchandise flowing, and there'll be, you know, new items every couple of months so that a guy will wear the same jersey for like 10 years straight and never, you know, change it, hopefully wash it. But us girls, we like to wear something cute and different every time. It's my dream to see a girl walking down the street in a Dodgers top, even if she's not going to a game, just because she likes the Dodgers top.
Thanks, Dennis. Alyssa Milano truly does bleed Dodger blue. She never leaves a game early. I mean, who cares about that LA traffic, right? She also has her own blog at alyssa.mlblogs.com.
Coming up on the FSN Baseball Report, we're going coast to coast to bring you all the best action from the world of baseball. It's the plays of the week. Up next on the FSN Baseball Report.
V-Stars from Star Motorcycles. And introducing the fuel-injected V-Star 1300. We build it, you make it your own. Exclusively at your Yamaha dealer. Now get payments as low as $69 a month until 2009, plus up to $1,000 cash back.
Introducing the Nissan Sentra. Completely redesigned from the inside out, front to back.
The road to happiness. Lots of twists and turns.
Breathe.
Have you found yourself yet? Because you're right here. Seriously, happiness doesn't have to hurt like that.
Security?
Put your money in an orange savings account. It's all gain, no pain.
But pain is the path to joy.
Whatever. High interest, no fees, no minimums. Your money grows, you don't get bent out of shape. The road to happiness is a beautiful thing.
Tigers at Red Sox on Thursday night, top of the fifth. The Tigers with 2 on, and Eric Hinsky makes a spectacular diving catch to end the Tigers' threat.
And then in the bottom of the seventh, Hinsky hits a 2-run home run that ended up being the game winner as Boston takes both games of the doubleheader.
That's a pretty good day. And we've learned something today, that you and Alyssa Milano have something in common.
That we both hate the color pink?
No, you both know who's the boss.
Oh, take it easy, Tony.
Careful, I could call you Mona.
I've always wanted red hair.
I don't think that look would work for you.
We're going to talk about this while you guys enjoy the plays of the week, Tom.
Dollar Dog Night.
Dollar Dog.
Abe and Thomas Jefferson squaring off. Ow, ow, ow. Holy smokes.
And Creedy with a diving play. Caught! Oh, what a play!
Hit hard. Caught! Gold Glove baseball.
Up against the wall.
Off the pitcher. This ball game is over. The walk-off.
The best dynamic performance SUV in its class. The FX, from a company called Infiniti. See your local retailer for 1.99% APR on the Infiniti FX.
We'll be home soon.
Who's counting on your brakes today? Your brakes are too important to trust to just anyone. So come to Midas, where lifetime guaranteed brake pads or shoes are just $89.95 per axle installed. For brakes, oil changes, tires, and more. Be safe.
Trust the Midas touch.
Oakbrook Toyota in Westmont is #1 with deals during Spring Fest.
Drive Motor Trend's 2007 Car of the Year. The new Camry LE. Automatic transmission, up to 33 miles per gallon highway, CD MP3 player, and more for only $199 a month.
Spring Fest is best.
There's only one, Bob Rohrman.
You owe it to yourself. Bob Rohrman's Oakbrook Toyota in Westmont, 5 minutes west of the Tri-State on Ogden Avenue.
You're watching a special edition of the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Tonight, Moments frozen in time, etched in our memories, are once again brought to life.
Unbelievable! It's a miracle!
Every unforgettable catch, unbelievable swing, and unimaginable outcome takes its place in history. Some will rise, some will fall, but none will be forgotten.
United States has won the Women's World Cup.
It's the top 50 most unforgettable plays in sports history. Next.
Tonight we're counting down the top 50 most unforgettable plays of all time. Now, as you start jogging your memory, remember we're talking about the plays that happen on the field, inside the stadiums and the arenas. Guys, this is going to be a great one tonight because we have like all of sports history to choose from. So give me one unforgettable play.
Hank Aaron breaking Babe Ruth's all-time home run record.
All right, that was good. Good one.
Montana to Dwight Clark in the championship game.
Ah, the catch. Nice one. I like that. Okay.
Michael Jordan shooting over Cleveland.
No. That's not good.
That's a good one, boy.
No, it's not.
That was a great one. I love that day.
That's not good. All right, so let's get right to it. Let's get it started with the 50 most unforgettable plays of all time.
Number 50, break on through.
Fly ball hit deep, right center field. McRae on his horse. Oh, he hits the wall. McRae.
Oh, yes. Right on top of the bag. Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Number 41, leap Fred.
Bonato gets with a sloppy pass. Carter.
Woo! Just look at this spectacular takeoff. He jumped over his head.
That's like something that was set up in a slam dunk contest.
Look at this. He scissored over his head. It's almost like, where did he go?
You're going to be changing your mind a lot tonight.
I forgot all about that.
Vince Carter over Frederick Weiss.
We should watch the Olympics more.
Wow. Was that unreal?
That was.
That's like jumping over you. Somebody that's bigger than you.
I know. You know that guy. Did he come to the league?
Frederick Weiss. He got drafted, I think, by the Knicks in the
I
first
wouldn't
round,
come if I was him. No,
yeah.
no.
He stayed back overseas.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are just getting started. So stay tuned. More great plays like that one coming up.
Still to come. Look out.
That's a steal by Bird.
Things are just getting started.
And welcome back to Wrigley Field. It has stopped raining. The Cubs trail the White Sox 10-6. If you missed it earlier, we'll catch you up.
All that and more coming up next. You know how it goes.
And dive with the second home run of this series. That came off Carlos Zambrano, made it a 3-1 White Sox lead. In the 7th inning, Darren Erstad with a bloop single out into left. And scored Juan Uribe, and then the big blast, a lot of insurance. A.J. Brzezinski off Neil Kotz, a grand slam, and White Sox really opened it up. Later in the inning, Makoviak with a 2-run single. Cubs coming back. Ramos Ramirez with a 3-run homer in the 8th inning. Jock Jones with a single, also knocking in a run. So it's 10-6. At one point it was 10-2. So we've seen a lot of offense on a day where we thought we might not see much. And we're ready to continue.
Yeah, this figured to be a 1-0, 2-1 ball game going in today with the conditions as they were at the beginning of the game, and both offenses surprised us today.
So a 1-strike count on Jermaine Dye as we continue on. 1-1 Scott Air doing the pitching. A 42-minute rain delay. And it's caught by Ramirez, and Dye is out. 2 down.
A lateral movement is going to be tough from this point on. You can see that drying substance that they put all over the infield. And you see the back of Aramis' glove right there, just from touching it to the ground, covered in mud. Yeah, that stuff they put on the infield will help soak up some of the water. Unfortunately, it clumps in the players' cleats, makes it very, very tough to keep your footing. Dry on top, muddy underneath, and then you get some of that surface drying agent stuck in your cleats, and it makes footing very tough.
Looking at some of our camera guys today, during the rain delay, they might need some of that Diamond Dry.
Yeah, they
were soaked.
They might need to roll around in it a little bit.
Cameras took a water beating as well. There's a strike, 2-1. Well, not too many fans are left. 41,164 when we started. With a 2-1 pitch into left center for Konerko. And a pinch hitter, Alex Centrone. Frank D'Amato still there, the RoboCam operator, under the tarp. Centrone bats for David Artsma. Switch hitter, he'll bat right-handed. That single by Konerko, the 10th hit for the White Sox. The Cubs have 7. There's a pitch to Centrone, fouled near the plate. You know, one of the big plays in this ball game happened very early on. We talked about it when it happened. Rob Makoviak at the plate. He hit a foul down the left field line in the 2nd inning. And it looked like the ball was going to get way out of play. Alfonso Soriano kind of gave up on it, and that ball dropped right in front of him along the ledge. And eventually Makoviak got on, and he would come around to score one of the 2 runs on the Juan Uribe hit. That was a pretty big play in this ball game in the 2nd inning. Kind of easy to get lost in the shuffle after all the late runs.
Especially in a ball game where momentum plays such a big part in this game. You never know what would have transpired had Soriano made the play on that ball, but we know what happened after he did not make the play, and that's the fact that the White Sox pushed across a couple runs in that 2nd inning that they possibly wouldn't have had.
Well, it's the what-if game, and you cannot reconstruct a ball game and have any idea what would have happened if something did not happen. It's all connected.
Everything changes depending on the situation. How many outs? What's the count? Who's the hitter? Who's on base? I will say this. I'm a little surprised the Cubs are holding Paul Konerko on over there at first base. He does not run well at all to begin with. Very slim chance that he's going to go anywhere. White Sox with a 4-run lead here with 2 outs in the top of the 9th.
2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. And it's full 3-2. And now DeRosa will play behind the runner, who will get going on a 3-2 with 2 outs. There he goes. Ball 4. Going to be Bobby Jenks in a non-save spot in the bottom of the 9th. He'll face a pinch hitter, followed by Ryan Terrio and Angel Pagan. Derek Lee already used today, and as a pinch hitter he walked in the 6th. He'll likely face, I would think, Cliff Floyd, although you could save him if you need a home run. You have Matt Merton available. We'll see. 0-2 on Ozuna. He came in after Joe Creedy had to leave with a tight lower back, and that has to be a concern for the White Sox. It's a very cold, damp day, and he has had lower back problems in his career. So maybe just precautionary today.
No, this was the kind of day it didn't appear it was going to get any nicer or any warmer. So if you have some signs that that lower back is starting to tighten up, no sense taking a chance with a guy that they're going to need throughout this summer.
Ground ball, Air couldn't get it. Izturis does, but Ozuna's going to beat it, and the bases are full. And remember the 7th inning, when Zambrano got the first 2 White Sox hitters, they would go on to score 7 times. So now Air is in a big-time jam. There are 2 outs, so he has a chance to get out of it, but they have 3 on. We have seen an inordinate amount of 2-out rallies from the Cubs hitters as well. But it's amazing how many times we've seen a pitcher get 2 guys out, and then you see the next 5 or 6 reach. Outside corner.
I think a lot of that, Len, gets back to not getting too far ahead of yourself. You still have to execute your pitches. You get 2 quick outs and you look around, there's nobody on base. Well, I got out of this inning. Well, you still have to focus and you still have to concentrate and make quality pitches. Sometimes guys just get in a little too much of a hurry to finish the inning and get back in the dugout, and they don't really concentrate on where they're throwing the ball or why they're making a certain pitch.
Air ready, and the 2-1 offering. Now 2-2. Still some puddles behind home plate on the track right in front of the bricks. And a couple of spots on the track in the outfield. But the grounds crew did a great job to get the infield ready. Just a 42-minute rain delay. 3-2. He's got to throw him a good one now. Cubs are already down 4 with only 3 outs to go. You don't want to give the White Sox anything more now. Everybody goes, fouled off.
We talked about this. I believe it was in Philadelphia on the last road trip. A very similar situation. That inside move to second base. That time Alex Cintron, the runner at second base, was off and moving before Scott Air even picked up his front leg. That spin move to second base.
Jones heading over toward the line. He makes a catch for out number 3. Last chance for the Cubs. They're down 4.
Wherever there's new land, there's a new Land Rover. The all-new Land Rover LR2.
The road to happiness. Lots of twists and turns.
Breathe.
Have you found yourself yet? Because you're right here. Seriously, happiness doesn't have to hurt like that.
Security?
Put your money in an orange savings account. It's all gain, no pain.
But pain is the path to joy.
Whatever. High interest, no fees, no minimums. Your money grows, you don't get bent out of shape. The road to happiness is a beautiful thing.
Strength, efficiency, the power to change the game. That's how professionals dominate on the court and on the road. There's nothing like a game-winning 3.
Now get a low-mileage lease on an 07 Acadia SLE for around $349 a month. Call for residency restrictions and details.
For more information, visit gmcdrive.com today.
After the game, stay tuned for Crosstown Classic post-game live. You'll see Ozzie and Lou's post-game comments, get interviews from the clubhouses, plus Bill Melton and Dan Plesac will break down everything that happened. Crosstown Classic post-game live. Immediately following the contest right here on Comcast Sportsnet. There's Bobby Jenks. Not a safe spot with his team leading by 4 as he tries to get the final 3 outs. He's going to face a pinch hitter to start it. Cliff Floyd.
18 strikeouts in 17 innings of work for Bobby Jenks. Big, hard thrower.
Cliff's surgically repaired left Achilles flared up a little bit. Nothing serious. It had been bothering him earlier this weekend. Able to pinch hit today. And he looks at strike 1 on a fastball from Jenks. Cubs need to pile up some runners. That time 99 on our gun from Jenks. Jenks from the stretch with nobody on base. Here's a pitch. Check swing, and he went. That's Joe West with a call. Cliff disagreeing with that call. I don't know. We'll get a good look at it. We have the benefit of this replay. You make the call.
I think Cliff's argument is at least get some help. You know, you'd like to think that that home plate umpire is focused on the pitch and can't really see the bat. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. Follow the guy all the way back to the dugout and then throw him out of the game. That's ridiculous.
Well, I'll tell you what, somebody better get Cliff right now. Lou doesn't see Cliff, but somebody better get him out before he gets suspended.
I mean, nobody in the ballpark knew that Cliff was upset once he got back to the dugout.
Yeah, Gerald Perry is going to literally pull him away.
What I started to say was a hitter just wants the home plate umpire to ask for some help sometimes on those check swings. I mean, it's tough to see sometimes even with the replay that we have whether a guy swung at a ball or not. And all the hitter's asking is for the home plate umpire to get some help if indeed you're focused on that pitch coming up there to the plate. Maybe you didn't get a good look at the bat. Use another set of eyes, but that time Joe West felt that he saw it well enough to make the call, and Cliff didn't agree.
First Cub to be ejected from a ball game this year. So 1 out in the inning. In most of the Cub rallies this year, Bob, Ryan Theriot has been in the middle of it. He did it in the 8th as part of the 4-run frame, and the Cubs could put up 4 more here in the 9th. They get to extras. Going to take some work, though, and he's down 1-2. But the thing about a check swing, I mean, there are some calls where you literally could ask 50 umpires, show them a replay, and 25 would say, yeah, he went after it. 25 would say, no, he held up.
Which is why umpires will normally appeal to the corner umpires who have a better view, a better angle to see whether that bat got out there in front of home plate.
3-2.
The real problem for me, though, is like I said, Cliff Floyd was back in the third base dugout. He was down by the bat rack. Yeah, sure, maybe he said something, but nobody in the ballpark would have known that until Joe West made a scene, walked over and ejected him.
There's a walk. Got to start somewhere, and Theriot on with a 1-out free pass. Birds flying by in the middle of our shot from center.
Just what a hitter needs. Big white birds flying around behind the pitcher.
Angel Pagano has already walked twice. Ontario not being held at first, ball 1. One more thing. Every umpire, and Joe West has been doing this for a long time, they have their magic words. They hear that word, that's it. The player gets ejected. But if you stay where you are and you look at the pitcher and you don't walk toward the dugout, there's a good chance you aren't going to hear it. And umpires sometimes hear what they maybe want to hear, right?
Well, and I got into some problems in my managerial days because I felt there were umpires that were not only following players back to the bench, but baiting them and actually trying to provoke a confrontation.
3-0.
Well, if Jenks would happen to throw a strike on this pitch, I'd like to see Ryan Theriot go ahead and take second base. Take the double play out of the equation. Just try to continue this inning any way you can. Get another hitter to the plate.
3-1.
Konerko is playing 15 to 20 feet behind Ryan Theriot down there at first base. I mean, his run really means nothing at this point, but as I said, it takes the double play out of the situation. And the Cubs would get possibly another hitter to the plate, a chance to extend the ball game.
Three and 2 on Pagan. A kick and the pitch. There's a fly ball pretty well hit right center. Erstad will have room, and he makes a catch. Wind still blowing in. And the Cubs down to their final chance. Jenks came all the way back after starting that at bat 3-0 against Pagan. The producer of Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is Bob Albrecht. Our director, Dave Turner. Our associate producer, Tamara Anderson. Christine Charbonneau, our stage manager in the booth. Our technical director, Dan Stella. The executive producer of Cubs baseball and Comcast Sportsnet, Jim Corno Jr. Great work by our entire Comcast Sportsnet crew. Post-game live to follow. We have a lot more to come. These two teams will meet up again on the south side in June. Soriano with a comebacker. Backhanded play and the throw to first. They go 4-6-3 to get Soriano. That's a heads-up play by Iguchi and Uribe. The double play tandem teaming up to get the out at first base. And that ends the ball game. So the Cubs cannot sweep the White Sox. The final today 10-6. What a defensive play. That was not a double play. They just got the final out. So a lot of runs today. Few balls left the ballpark on a day where it didn't look like we would see many, if any, home runs. And the White Sox salvage a finale today, beating the Cubs 10-6. Well, there's going to be a lot of analysis coming up a little bit later. Where do you start with this one today?
Boy, I don't know. I mean, surprising offense, as you mentioned, in a ball game where Lou Piniella intentionally played his small ball lineup, anticipating it was going to be a low-scoring ball game. I don't know how you figure this one out.
Well, Zambrano today charged with 7 runs. The bullpen struggled again today. Neil Kotz gave up 3 runs. We had a rain delay in the 9th inning of 42 minutes. And a struggling White Sox offense got into double digits today, beating the Cubs 10-6. So that'll do it for our game coverage. Stay tuned for post-game live coming up. Once again, the final score, the White Sox 10, the Cubs 6. Cubs take 2 of 3 in this series. And we'll greet you next here on Comcast Sportsnet Tuesday night, a late night from San Diego, 8:30 for pregame live. Bob and I will take over at 9 o'clock. Cubs and the Pods, first of 3 from Petco Park. In-game scoring provided by ScorePad. And now for Bob Brenly and our great crew, this is Len Casper. You've been watching Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Stick around. Post-game live coming up.
As good as I could. And sometimes it made me sad. All right, Len and Bob, thank you very much. Stay with us for Crosstown Classic Postgame Live. Dan Plesac and Bill Melton will join me to break down this series finale, and what a finale it was. Plus, we'll hear from Lou Piniella, Ozzie Guillen, and players from both clubhouses. And we need your help with our opinion poll. Crosstown Classic Postgame Live is coming up after the break.
I know you love me. I know you do. I know you do. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Don't you? Don't you wish your girlfriend was raw like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was fun like me? Don't you?
Hey, boss. Do we have Aflac?
Yeah, we have something else.
But if you're hurt and miss work, does it pay cash like Aflac does?
Nah.
Or let you spend it any way you want, like for gas and groceries?
Nah.
Or help with everyday bills like Aflac does?
Nah.
There's only one Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Nice try, boss.
Nah.
Experience a Cubs game at historic Wrigley Field. Individual tickets are available for upcoming games. Get your tickets now by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS, visiting the Wrigley Field box office, or by logging on to Cubs.com. See you at beautiful Wrigley Field.
Chevy. With 8 models that get an EPA estimated 30 miles per gallon highway or better. And we're so confident of our quality, every one is backed by something no one else has. The best coverage in America, including the GM 100,000-mile warranty. Get this 07 Cobalt with an EPA estimated 32 miles per gallon highway starting at $13,590 after cash back. That's an 07 Cobalt Sedan LS starting at $13,590 after cash back.
Grubs. Their mission? Destroy your lawn. Now there's Bear Advanced Season-Long Grub Control with Merit. Its exclusive 2-in-1 formula stops grubs all season. Plus, it revitalizes your lawn, guaranteed. Bear Advanced.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by LoJack, the only stolen vehicle recovery system operated by the police. Bacardi Rum. If you're going to drink, be responsible. And by Pontiac, 9 performance machines, all designed for action.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay.
That was Lou Piniella, brought to you by United Airlines.
Driven deep, right center. Jock Jones chasing it. And it's into the basket. A grand slam for A.J. Pierzynski.
That was Len Casper with the call today on Comcast Sportsnet, a day after D. Lee's grand slam put the game out of reach. A.J. returns the favor today. His 8th homer. Sox score 7 times in the 7th, all with 2 outs. Cubs rally for 4. Salvage the finale, avoid the sweep. Nick Massick gets the win in his first major league start. Thanks for hanging with us. Welcome to Crosstown Classic Postgame Live with Dan Plesac and Bill Melton. I am Pat Boyle. Bullpens played a huge part in deciding this series, but Carlos Zambrano set the stage for the big inning today. And in football weather at Wrigley, I guess it was fitting they put a touchdown on the board. It really was because Zambrano didn't get it done with 2 outs.
You know, we touched on it on the pregame show. The conditions were really right for a low-scoring game. The wind was blowing in. It was in the mid-40s. The temperature was cool. And I thought once the Cubs pushed across the run early, got that lead 1-0, I was really hoping to see the Carlos Zambrano that you've seen flashes of. You saw it a little bit, and I kind of agree with Lou Piniella. He needs to be more consistent. And I think what makes this a disappointing loss for the Cubs, you scratch out a couple of wins, and you have a kind of what looks like a mismatch on paper, a young right-hander coming out of the bullpen and Massick make his first start. You've got the ace, the anchor of your staff in Zambrano. You're expecting him to go out there and shut down this White Sox team that's been struggling. And it was a case, again, of Carlos just not having it.
Bill, we'll get your thoughts from the White Sox perspective. Carlos Zambrano is stepping to the mic at Wrigley Field. Let's listen in to Big Z.
I mean, it was good. I mean, everything was good till that last inning. And, you know, after 2 outs, sometimes you lost the control, and that happened when you lost the control, you know. But I was feeling good. I was feeling good the whole game, and just make a mistake with some pitches. And this is they are a good ball club, and you have to give it credit to them too.
How the conditions of the pitch was cold? The body at all, the cold weather?
No, I mean, no. I don't like long sleeve. When you play in Chicago, one thing that you have to put in your mind when you come to Chicago, when you play for the Chicago Cubs or the White Sox, whatever, you have to deal with that, with the cold weather. You have to put yourself together and go out there and pitch your game. It doesn't matter how is the weather. Just go out there and be able to control yourself and to throw a strike to pitch your game.
The thing you were working on mechanically before the other game, did that come into play today? Or?
I mean, I threw some good pitches, and like I say, there was time to use our bullpen, and sometimes they do their job, sometimes they don't. You just have to stay together and give you a hug, give you a hand. I'm with you. Whatever happened today is okay. It just happened, and let's go to the next step. Don't point at anybody. Don't put your finger on anybody. That's not the game here. That's not what happened here. Just give you a hand and give them your support.
Carlos, you got a head on Tomei there in the seventh. Did you try to get too careful with him after that? After you had him down, or did you just barely miss on it?
Yeah, I think that was what happened. I think I was trying to be too cute, too careful with him, and knowing that he came from the DL, and I think he's still sore. He hasn't been back. Like they told me, everybody know. But then, that was a mistake not to pitch to him, hard or to go right at him. So I think that was a key of the game, the key.
Did they say anything to you about your mechanics today?
No. I think the mechanic problem is already done. The last two games, being able to throw the ball in the angle that I want to throw, and that wasn't a problem today. Just left some pitches in the middle, and I paid for that.
Disappointing not to get 3 out of 3 with the series.
No. I mean, anytime you can win a series, you want to be in the playoff when you win a lot of series. You win 2 out of 1. I mean, 2 out of 3. You win 2 out of 3, and then when the season is over, you want to have 80, 90 some wins. That's the case here.
All right. Thank you.
Carlos Zambrano drops to 4-4 on the year. And Bill, this game changed. A lot of that discussion in his post-game press conference was about that 7th inning. A 1-run lead for the White Sox. He gets the first 2 outs, and then everything falls apart for Zambrano.
Well, Dan and I were just talking about what happened with Henry Blanco coming in when Mark Burley wound up walking him. And, of course, the Cubs got their grand slam with Derek Lee. So it was almost deja vu all over again. Today in the 7th inning, you're sitting here with 2 outs. I don't know, where you maybe try to do too much right here. You hit Juan Uribe. He had a lot of movement on that 2-seamer on the inside part of the plate. Same thing he was throwing Jim Thome right here. It looks like he was trying to get him on the outside corner and trying to do it like a 2-seamer when I don't think you really have to. When a guy's just coming off the DL, you can stay with that hard stuff and throwing strikes. Probably trying to do a little bit too much. And by doing too much, got the opportunity. This is what's important about Jim Thome being in that lineup. Darren Erstad right here with a little fly ball that drives in a run. I mean, in Wrigley Field, you're going to see an awful lot of this. Very tough outfield to play. especially with the wind. But right there, that's the benefits to the White Sox. Again, this is all happening with 2 outs. You see the frustration right there. This is a surprising thing to me, as Neil Kotz had the same problem with the White Sox. He's got a terrific arm, but he had trouble last year getting left-handers out. I haven't figured it out yet. Here's the 8th home run, a grand slam by A.J. Pierzynski, and the bottom line is, you know, the White Sox took advantage today. I mean, the Cubs took advantage the other day. The White Sox had the lead in all 3 baseball games. Today they got an opportunity to expand on that because a 3-2 game in Wrigley Field against the Cubs, it's already taken you twice. The bottom line is you got to get all the runs you can get. And the White Sox, for the first time, I think they're the last team or next to last team to score 10 runs in all of baseball.
It didn't feel great because you're up 10-2 and then your bullpen falls apart from the Southsiders' perspective. But both bullpens, there's a lot of worriment, I think, in both sides.
I think there's some worry, and you try to put your finger on, you know, what's the problem with Aaron, with Kotz. And I think what you'll see if you go back and we have another shot of that ball that Pierzynski hit, one of the things that lefties naturally do, hitting lefties against lefties, is they're naturally going to pull off the ball a little bit. And until Aaron and Kotz can consistently get that ball down and away, if you'll see right here, A.J. Pierzynski's hip opens up a little bit. So that ball that's on the inner third of the plate, particularly down, you're throwing the ball right into the area where they're going away from. I still believe, as a left-handed relief pitcher, the best pitch in baseball and the most difficult pitch for a left-handed hitter can hit against a left-handed pitcher is a located fastball down and away. If you're going to pull off that ball and you elevate that ball in the air to left field, there are very few guys that are strong enough that can take that ball on the outer third of the plate and down and drive it with authority to the opposite field. And in Neil Kotz's case and in Scott Ayers' case, a lot of hanging breaking balls on the inner half of the plate where a hitter's starting to open up and kind of bail out, but that ball is going right to where they're bailing, not far enough away.
A lot of interesting storylines, Bill. You were
I was just going to say, and left-handed hitters are notorious low ball hitters. So it's tougher getting a left-hander out, down and in than, like you said, away. And then, of course, it works the same way with Boone Logan. Same thing. He misses with the breaking ball. You got to come with a fastball, and they're usually inside.
knocks that in for a grand slam. Yes, there were so many storylines that were pretty much the same on both sides. You had the Aardsma-Kotz situation. Both guys traded in the offseason for one another. Both struggled against their former team. You had Boone Logan giving up the slam yesterday, Kotz doing it today. You had the A.J. Pierzynski storyline. We talked about it on Friday. Not in the lineup against a lefty. Caused some friction with Ozzie calling in to Mike North's radio show. We asked the question, would A.J. have an impact in this series? I think all 3 said yes, he would. Well, he did today, and he spoke with our Chuck Garfien after the Sox victory.
Mr. Dramatic does it again. What is it with you and this series?
It's fun. You know, we talked about that all the time. This is fun. This is what you play for. This series in this city is what it's all about. It's the only game in town. It's all everyone's talking about, and it's fun. It's what you live for. It's like, I don't want to say it's playoff atmosphere, but it's as close as you can get in the regular season.
You're batting .400 with 5 grand slams in your career with the bases loaded, and the fans right now are shouting grand slam. Does the game slow down for you in those moments? Are you more comfortable in those moments?
No, I try to get a good pitch. The thing is that I know they can't walk me, and I swing a lot of bad pitches, so I know they have to throw something close, and it kind of lets me narrow my focus a little bit. And you know, the big deal today was in the grand slam was Nick Maston, the way he pitched.
I want to ask you about Nick Maston. I mean, what did you see from him behind the plate?
Oh, great. Strikes, and threw his breaking balls over the plate, threw curveball, great slider, kept him off balance, moved the ball in and out, up and down, and you know, for a reliever to come in and give us almost 6 innings is amazing.
The grand slam you hit came off Neil Kotz. You were his battery mate for a couple of years. Does that put you maybe in an advantage because you know it might be coming?
No, because I've seen Neil blow up so many left-handed guys' bats and make them look so bad that, no, it actually puts me kind of at a disadvantage because I know Neil so well, and I know, you know, you think you know what he's going to do, but I also know how he pitches and what his strengths are. So it kind of gives you a little fear factor in the back of your mind.
AJ, congratulations. Big win for you guys.
Thanks,
all right. AJ Pierzynski, the big home run, the big grand slam. Back to you.
All right, Chuck, thank you very much. AJ has the flair for the dramatic. You know, you say what you want about him. A lot of people out there Don't exactly agree with the way he does things, but the guy has an impact and he gets it done.
He gets it done, and one of the things you have to give him credit for, he plays a very demanding position, and he's willing to go out there, and if Ozzie Guillen would allow it, he would catch all 162 games. It's a very demanding position to play, warm weather, cold weather, especially in the heat of the summertime. He just has a flair for getting it done when he's on the center stage.
Time now for our Felco pitching recap. We had a weather for a pitcher's duel. Didn't exactly work out that way. Rookie Nick Massett out-dueling Zambrano. He did it, Bill, after a 21-pitch first inning. He really settled down, did the rookie.
Yeah, he was part of that deal in the John Banks deal with the Texas Rangers for Brandon McCarthy. And one reason why, you know, the White Sox pulled the trigger, and after Kenny Williams did, is the White Sox wanted this man right here, Massett. Texas was unwilling to get rid of him. But what caused the deal to turn was this right here. You see this curveball he's got. It's very tight. It's got a little Bobby Jinks in it, that breaking ball. And here's a guy that, you know, as I was talking about 7 weeks ago, he went 4 1/3 innings against the Cleveland Indians. As of late, you know, he hasn't been able to, you know, go 3, 4 innings. So pretty special for him to come out today. And, you know, he walked 3 batters, but 2 of them were in the you know, the first inning, trying to get used to the mound and stuff like that. That's kind of forgivable. But I tell you, he is a starter, and he wants to be a starter. And we needed that powerful arm down there in that bullpen for long relief, much like Brandon McCarthy was doing for the White Sox last year. That's what we wanted him for. But that's great when you can come up and throw strikes.
As for Carlos Zambrano, we chronicled his problems in the top of the 7th inning, but what did you see from the rest of his performance?
Well, I think it was a tale of 2 different pitchers, really. Massett, even though this was his first Major League start and getting his first win, he was very impressive to watch. And I think one of the things that he was very good at, he was attacking the strike zone. And I know their pitching coach, Don Cooper, really reiterates to his pitchers to let's attack the strike zone, let's initiate contact. He has a good fastball. He wasn't afraid to throw it. And one of the things, whether it was a young pitcher, the Cubs not seeing, but one of the things that was awfully impressive, he was down in the strike zone early, getting strike 1, and then elevating his fastball with 2 strikes. It has a tremendous curveball. He was very impressive.
One thing we talk a lot about with Z is focus. You know, first innings, being overhyped for opening day. He gets 2 quick outs. The guy does at times seem to lose focus. Fair assessment?
I think it's becoming a fair assessment. He made a lot of strides from 2005 into last year in 2006. Got off to a miserable start in April, and you could have made an argument he might have been the best pitcher in the National League from the middle of June towards the end of the season. So you were, and in all honesty, you know, I was out in Arizona for 3 weeks. It seemed to me like he was throwing the ball better at times in Arizona than he has during the season. He hasn't been able to dominate with that one pitch. Today, even in the first few innings, he gave up a couple of runs, but his slider seemed really big. It seemed really flat, not that real crisp, sharp, down-breaking ball. And the fastball just doesn't have the life on it. This is a guy that, when he's right, can predominantly pitch with his fastball 85 to 90% of the time. He's not able to do that, and having a difficult time throwing strikes when he needs to, when he's gotten a couple of quick outs and he's